Yo, what's good, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Raymond. Today we're diving into episode 3 of Ironheart. We're in danger, girl. And let me tell you, this episode is wild. We're picking up right where episode 2 left off with the Hood Gang celebrating their latest heights. But things get real messy real quick. Drama, betrayal, a high-stakes heist, and some serious moral questions. This episode has it all. So grab your snacks, hit that like button, and let's break it down. Oh, and stick around to the end for my thoughts on where this is all headed. No spoilers for future episodes, just pure episode 3 goodness. Let's go! We kick off with the Hood Gang riding high after the last heist. The music? Not bad, honestly. It sets the vibe perfectly. They're planning their next big score, but you can already feel the tension bubbling. Riri playing it brilliantly is straight up obvious about using these guys to fund her heart suit. Like, girl, you're not even hiding it. Well, yeah, I know. She's obvious about it. Meanwhile, Clown picks the Hood's vault. Parker's hood. She gets Parker's hood, and she starts to notice something off about it. She's wearing it. She goes, well, this is hot, but not in a sexy kind of way. Riri's like, yo, let's figure out how Parker's powers work. And you know what's going to stir? That's going to stir some trouble. Cue the host on the camera. Riri's out here playing 4D chess, but the king's not dumb. This is where the cracks in the team start showing, and I'm all for it. Things escalate when John catches Clown and Riri messing with the Hood. He slams Clown down like it's the WWE and warns him not to mess with Parker's creepy magic cloak. Riri, not backing down, gets in John's face, and y'all, this moment is tense. Like, I was holding my breath. Parker steps in to cool things off, telling John to chill and orders Slug to brief the team on their next target. Heirloom, a shady Chicago-based tech giant run by CEO Hunter Mason. Heirloom's is cutting-edge farming tech company that's low-key driving local farmers out of business. Their security, insane. It can detect any metal that might be a threat, so the gang's got to get creative. Parker's all in, but you can feel the tension between him and John. These two are like brothers. They're cousins, but something's off. Heirloom's giving big evil corporation vibes, and I love how the show's setting up this Robin Hood angle with the Hood Gang. But, like, are they heroes or just criminals? Show's making us question that, and I am hooked. Riri starting the question, Hood Gang's morals, telling Parker she's not a criminal. Parker hits back saying, we're all criminals, Riri. Anyone who's done anything iconic has done questionable stuff. Oof, that line. Then Riri grills him about how the Hood works. She's throwing out theories, pin particles, vibranium. Parker just smirks at this. It's magic. Riri's not buying it, clapping back, saying, it's magic means you don't know how it works. Savage. Parker's like, I don't care how it works. Let me protect the people I love. You should know something about that, Riri. This scene is so good because it flips the script. Parker questioning Riri's morals, and you can see her squirm. Meanwhile, Xavier's side-eyeing Riri, wondering if she's getting all the cash for her suit and the gifts she's giving out. But then they had this super heartfelt moment bonding over a pair of headphones that belong to Natalie, Riri's late best friend. It's sweet, but it's also a reminder that Riri's carrying a lot of pain. Riri and Parker's back and forth is the heart of this episode. They're both justifying their choices, but neither's fully in the right. Also, the headphone scene with Xavier, real tearjerker. I was tearing up over that. This show is doing a great job balancing action with these quieter, emotional beats. Now let's talk about Joe. He shows up at Riri's mom's house looking for her, and we get this hilarious moment where Riri calls him middle-aged. Joe's like, I'm only 36. Bro, you're stressing. Joe's got blueprints for Riri, but she's not in the mood. He's not taking no for an answer, though, and threatens to spill where they really know each other from, unless she helps out. Riri reluctantly agrees to meet him, and he tells her, oh, and my place at 6. Will that work out for you? Oh, what am I saying? Of course 6 will work. Oh, and Joe's got some serious baggage. Later, we learn he's Ezekiel Stane, the son of Obadiah Stane from Iron Man 1. The show cleverly uses the MCU's plane crash cover-up to explain Obadiah's death, which is why Joe's been trying his whole life to not be like his dad, because his dad was the Iron Mongo, and his dad tried to kill Tony. Joe's reveal as Ezekiel Stane, mind blown. It ties Riri's story back to the MCU in such a cool way, and that Ashes scene, comedy gold. But it's also tragic. Joe's trying to be better than his dad, but he's stuck in this shady world. Let's see. Here's Natalie's AI and Riri's trauma. Riri's got her AI, Natalie, who's based on her late best friend and projected via a necklace when the suit's not around. She introduces that in this episode. Natalie refuses to upgrade the suit at first, warning Riri that she doesn't know enough about Parker, but they end up tinkering together, and Riri opens up about her memories of the real Natalie. It's heavy because the AI somehow has those memories, which freaks Riri out. Yeah, I think I know why. They're having a picnic. They talk about Joe. They talk about the memory of Natalie canoodling with a guy at Gary's garage, and Gary catching them, and them being accused of tainting a sacred place. They go to Gary's garage, and Riri has a full-on panic attack tied to what happened there with her stepdad, Gary, and her best friend, Natalie, who were killed in that drive-by shooting. Natalie's AI calms her down in a way that only the real Natalie could, which makes Riri question everything yet again. How do you know how to do this? Which I think is pretty obvious. It's because Natalie, the AI, has those memories of Riri's best friend, Natalie, because of Riri's memories of Natalie. But that's besides tangent. They not really explored all that deeply. To top it off, the police show up at Riri's house to question Riri. Riri shows up, and they question her about Stewart Clark, aka Rampage, the guy that worked for Parker and as the tech expert before Riri. He's dead. He was found dead. They know she was the last one to call him, and they question her about that. She explains, "Oh, well, we met during a job interview. We exchanged phone numbers. I called him about questioned him about something. He never picked up the phone." And then they leave, telling her, "Well, if you can think of anything else, give us a call." Riri's mom checks on her, asking if she's okay, and she goes, "Yeah, I'm fine." But Riri's spiraling. Yeah, she is spiraling. She is not okay. She's not fine. She's suspecting that Parker or maybe John might have killed Rampage. The Natalie AI is such a cool concept, but it's also super creepy. How does it have the real Natalie's memories? And Riri's trauma from Gary's garage is clearly why she builds the Ironheart suit, to protect the people she loves so she never loses anyone again. The show's dropping these emotional bombs, and I'm not okay with it. The Hood gang's gearing up for the heirloom heist, leaving all metal behind because of the security system. Riri, though, hides a laser in her suit under Joe's bio mesh, which she got earlier, and I don't have in my script for some reason, but she goes and asks Joe if she can upgrade the suit to hide the laser, and he says, "Well, that violates all kinds of concealed weapon laws." She goes, "Oh, yeah." He goes, "That's I'm not okay with that." They have a back and forth. They start bonding over having dead father figures. You know, Joe with Obadiah and Riri with her stepdad, Gary, who by all means he's a pretty cool guy. And Joe ends up giving the bio mesh prototype to Riri, saying, "We're friends, but I'll give this to you only if you promise that it won't come back to, blow back on me." She says, "Yeah, I promise it will not blow back on you." Her plan? Cut off a piece of the hood to figure out how it works. Sneaky. Parker infiltrates Hunter Mason's office, but Hunter's ready for him. They trade barbs, with Hunter mocking Parker and offering a check to get him to leave. Parker counters with the contract, like the one that he forced Tunnel CEO to sign in episode 2. Hunter refuses, so the gang starts burning Heirloom's greenhouses. One by one, they're going to burn them. Riri's laser sets off the security system, and Hunter taunts Parker about his crew's screw-up. Then things get real dark. Hunter says, "Well, your people? Yeah, they're as good as dead." Parker turns invisible. Hunter starts shooting. Parker shows up behind Hunter, breaks his neck. Yo, what? Parker's eyes turn pitch black in that moment. Like, what? The security system is pumping carbon dioxide in the greenhouses to suffocate the intruders. Parker fights off the guards, kills them, while Riri escapes to a vent, but tells Natalie to save the rest of the gang instead of going to get her. She injures her knee when she drops down from one of the vents. And, there's John. John confronts Riri, and they fight as the CO2 starts taking his toll, with Riri accusing John of killing Rampage. According to his dialogue, it implies that Parker was there when John killed Rampage. Natalie shows up because Riri had been calling for Natalie. Riri shows up, Natalie shows up, grabs Riri, puts her in the suit, and they leave, leaving John trapped to suffocate. Parker starts freaking out when Riri shows up and the rest of the gang are out there, begging Riri to find John. She flies up and she sees him lifeless on the floor of the greenhouse. She tells Parker, "I'm sorry, it's too late. He's lifeless. He's gone." Parker is devastated. The heist is chaos. Parker killing Hunter, chilling. Riri's plan backfiring, leading to John's death. Brutal. The show's not pulling any punches, and I respect the hell out of that. The episode ends on two gut-punching moments. First, Parker confronts the demon tied to the hood, and I'm still thinking at this point that it might be Dormammu, saying he's done, that this was not part of the plan, and he questions if John's death was part of the plan that the demon has. The demon shows him John dying and reveals Riri in her Ironheart suit as the one responsible. Talk about a setup for episode 4, right? Meanwhile, Riri's having a mental breakdown, devastated over John's death and losing the biomesh. Natalie tries to calm her, but Riri's not okay, saying she's not, because Natalie asks if Riri's okay. As in, asks if she's good. As in, if she's okay. But she says no, she's not good after everything that's been going on. Now, that demon scene, that was terrifying. The hood's clearly more than just a magic cloak, and Parker's in way over his head. Riri's breakdown hit hard too. She's carrying so much guilt and trauma. This episode ending has me so stressed. And here are my final thoughts. Episode 3 is a banger, y'all. The action's intense, the character's drama is on point, and the moral questions keep you thinking. Riri's arc is still in the show, and she's not just building a suit. She's trying to protect her heart. Parker's descent into darkness with the hood is scary, and that demon's got to be bad news. Plus, Joe's reveal as Ezekiel Chastain, genius. My only nitpick, some of the heist logistics felt a bit convenient, but the emotional payoff more than makes up for it. What do you think of this episode? Are you team Riri or team Hood Gang? And what's up with that demon? Is it Dormammu? Do you think it's not? Drop your thoughts in the comments and let's get that discussion popping. If you enjoyed this recap, smash that like button, subscribe, and hit the bell so you don't miss next week's episode. We're covering every episode of Ironheart, so stick with us. Well, me. Until next time, stay awesome, and I'll catch you in the next episode. Have a good day.